And in recent news, California and Texas have both chosen to secede for the nation, and forcefully. There were letters from the mayors of Los Angeles and Austin. It is unsure whether or not there was an agreement of both states to secede. Texas, which some believe never will have the right to secede again from the nation, seceding without further delay or hesitation, was rather unexpected. California believes their own state is more recognizable as an independent nation and rather than a state or territory under a whole nation and government. And Texas believes their state has beliefs differently than democracy, believing higher class standards are of more importance and rely on obedient smaller classes. Both ideologies seem quite an attractive argument, and some states agree. Washington, Arizona, Nevada and Colorado are slowly turning towards California's new belief. Kansas and Oklahoma are both interested in the ideology, alongside the agreement of the public of many more southern states. And further developments of the recent splitting of the country have started to reach our attention. For those who haven't heard yet, California and Texas have both chosen to secede for the nation by force, without any further discussion with President George W. Bush. There were letters from the mayors of Los Angeles and Austin. It is unsure whether or not there was an agreement of both states to secede. Texas, which some believe never will have the right to secede again from the nation, seceding without further delay or hesitation, was rather unexpected. California believes that they should be more of an independent country than a state, and Texas believes of the massive importance of higher-class citizens over equality. Both ideologies have claimed their fair share of interests. All of the western states, except Arizona and New Mexico, have chosen to join California because of their abundance in resources. Some people of the seceding states joining Texas have remembered the old South slavery dependency, and it seems history will repeat itself. With reports in Alabama and South Carolina of slave farms, Florida and Kansas have chosen to join in fear of invasion and destruction by Texas. There seems to be no tension between the three countries, but it cannot be said for certain it will stay peaceful for long.
In recent events, there were lots of papers signed between California and Texas for their final declarations of both their seceding from the Union, but also the declaration that they are a new country. Most of the remaining states were mixed about the idea that the nation splits into three. Arizona and New Mexico believe the nation should remain whole, for they are both surrounded by the two nations and invasion is possible. Speaking of which, there wasn't any intentions of the two countries to invade the United States. However, the two have their own disagreements that eventually escalated. President George W. Bush said in an interview that, in the event of war, both nations would be invaded. It is unknown whether this is false or an actual threat, but new information will be collected shortly. We just got word that the two nations are starting an invasion in Arizona and New Mexico. California invades Arizona, while Texas invades New Mexico. The United States is sending troops into Santa Fe, Albuquerque, Tucson, and Phoenix to assist Arizona and New Mexico. Apparently this was planned out as far back as September 25th, and this also marked the start of the Triple Civil War.
This is not a test. Repeating, this is not a test. An invasion of the states of Arizona and New Mexico are imminent. In recent events, there were lots of papers signed between California and Texas for their final declarations of both their seceding from the Union and their official declaration as a country. Most of the remaining states of the Union, including us, were mixed about the idea that the nation splits into three. But regardless, the military is currently being sent in our largest cities in hopes of defending us from invasion. California invades Arizona, while Texas invades New Mexico. The United States is sending troops into Santa Fe, Albuquerque, Tucson, and Phoenix to assist Arizona and New Mexico. In the event that you are cornered by our enemies, do not follow their orders. If you choose to evacuate the state, be extremely careful. The state of Utah, Colorado, Oklahoma, and Kansas are part of the two nations. It would be a risky move to stay in those states. Military are also sending in transport to help evacuate to the following cities: Chicago, Illinois; Des Moines, Iowa; Kansas City, Missouri; Minneapolis, Minnesota; Omaha, Nebraska; St. Louis, Missouri. The military is expected to land in the Phoenix area in about 3 to 4 hours.